Hey everybody, and welcome back to another book review. So this one was a book suggestion from several different people that I'm friends with. They all really enjoyed it a few years ago, and so they were like, hey, maybe you'll like this one. It's not necessarily something that you typically read, but you might like it. So I decided to give it a go, and that is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And I am very torn about this book review, at least in terms of like how I view it. So the book itself, bar none, honestly 4.5, maybe a 5 out of 5, because the story itself is really good. I just really like the flow of the story, the intricate details of the story and such. So like really, really good book. The reason I'm not actually giving it a 4.5 out of 5 is because I highly disagree with what the author did in this book. And so the story in the book, the main character, there are two main characters. So Evelyn Hugo, obviously, she is the main character, and she is a Cuban American woman who moves to Hollywood in the 50s. And anybody that knows anything about Hollywood history knows that people have always tried to hide who they were, both because of protection issues of different family members, but also because Hollywood wants perfect and white and skinny, bombshell types. And so basically she's kind of playing into that fantasy. But because she is Cuban, she changes her hair color and dyes it blonde, and it looks perfect with her slightly always tanned skin because she's Cuban. And so she's hiding that part of herself. And then the other main character is named Monique, and she is a journalist who Evelyn asks to do her biography. Monique is a biracial woman from LA, black dad, white mom. So those two things together meaning there are people of color in this book that are main characters. And the author spends a good amount of time on the story, obviously, but there are several chapters where she wrote from the perspective of what somebody who is biracial or what somebody who is Hispanic and hiding their ethnicity and their relationships, being LGBTQ, things like that. There's a lot of discussion about what those characters are thinking, feeling, how people that are in those experiences actually think and do, and almost a claim to knowing exactly what those people feel. And when I first read the first kind of dialogue, if you will, that a character is having with themselves about who they are in relation to being black and being white, but also like how the world sees you and how their life has unfolded, being of the early millennial generation, stuff like that. When I was reading that chapter, I was like, is this author black? Is she black? Is she biracial? Like, who is this author? Because I had never heard of the author. And so I did a little light digging and discovered that she is a white woman who is straight. So cis white women. And I don't think I've ever really talked on my channel or anything about my personal views on LGBTQ, etc. And I don't really think it's super relevant necessarily here right now. But what I don't agree with is a white woman speaking on behalf of marginalized groups, even through a character. It's wrong. I'm sorry, it is. She, as a white author, does not get the authority to be like, well, this is how this biracial character thinks, or this is how this Cuban American character thinks, or this is how this bi woman thinks, when she's not any of those. And I know some people are like, well, maybe she interviewed different people and that's where she, compiled the thoughts. I don't care if you interviewed somebody or not. It's not in your power to do that. And in my quick little light digging, I discovered that she has several other books that also feature people of color as main characters, where she does the same thing, where she's talking through the character lens of like what this person is experiencing in America. And it rubs me the wrong way. I didn't like it. It was highly disrespectful to me. I'm not saying that a white author cannot write characters of color. Not saying that at all. Authors are allowed to create whatever characters. Where the line is you don't get to decide this is how that character feels because of their race or whatever. That's not in your power as a white person. So I really had a problem with that, and I'm sure some of you all that follow this channel and listen to my book reviews, it may have opposing viewpoints. I don't care. Unless you're a person of color, it's a no-go for me. I'm sorry. And people can get over it. Like, you can. And I am not the only person that thinks this way. I found a couple other book reviews, a couple other critical viewpoints on this. At the same time, the author has come out in recent years saying that she appreciates the criticism, appreciates people coming forward and letting her know how it's viewed and felt. And that she's willing to learn from her mistakes. And that's fine and dandy. I appreciate that she is trying, I guess. But the rumor is that Netflix has picked up this book to make into either a movie or a series, which I think would be totally dope. But the author is at the helm of the writing of the series because it's her book. And I kind of have a problem with that. If there are, I hope that there are Hispanic writers in that space. I hope that there are Black or biracial writers in that space. And I hope that it's not just solely on her, because you're just continuing to do the same thing that you've already done as an author, and that's still not okay. So again, like I said, I was very torn about this book. But that like one chapter where I was just sitting there, I was like, huh? What? So she feels how and why? Because, okay, yeah, I've heard similar things from other biracial people, or people of color who feel like they have to hide themselves in America, et cetera, et cetera. But then I was like, but is the author, like, is she? And so I had to go look, and she's not. So yeah, it rubbed me the wrong way. And so for that, I give the book a 2. Story-wise, definitely really high, like low-key, if Netflix is able to, you know, secure everything and get it all done, depending on the cast, I think it'd be a really dope series. I've seen some like casting thoughts and feelings and rumors. Selena Gomez, Zendaya, Rita Moreno, like really amazing people. But I really hope that they actually have like the backup of writers of color to kind of counteract some things. I would love to see the younger Obama, who is out now in Hollywood writing as well. I'd love to see her get into this production, if possible, because I just think that it'd be really fun and fresh spin. But yeah, that's the 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. There you have it. Please continue to send requests and suggestions for book reviews. I look forward to seeing those and be on the lookout in the next couple weeks for my overall books of 2023. And then we'll be getting started in 2024. We only got like 3 weeks left. Holy cow. But I hope to see you all soon. Bye.